this. On my baseline, can you get back to this? On my baseline, can you get down to this? On my baseline, can you get back to this? Bass, bass, get back to bass, 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 get back. I'm a bass, I'm a bass, I'm a bass, I'm a bass. On my baseline, can you get bass, 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 get bass, 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 mighty bass. I'm a bass, 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 get bass, bass.
I've always been one of those, like, I prefer being complete as a player, so I don't like ignoring a role. I've been around esports for a long time. I've done a lot of stuff to try and encourage it. Like my first esports tournament was in 1998. To see Belong doing this kind of thing, to have it in a city and have a company get behind and finally push it out for anybody to come in and play. Like, it's not like the guys here are all like, amazing players the moment they walk in. Some of them play once a week or once a month, or a couple of them have never played before when they come in. Come in for community night, pick up a team, they're hooked. That's it, right? I love it. I'm really, really proud to take part of it, to be honest. This is mostly grassroots, right? But the thing that's coming out of it, which is really cool for me, as much as it's like a bit beyond my level now, but teams like Stratford and a couple of other teams at the real top of Championship Overwatch. I can't speak for the other leagues as much because I haven't watched them, but I know some of them are getting there as well. But specifically Stratford and a couple of other teams are really getting like semi-pro, pro level gameplay, and it's really, really cool to see that coming out of a grassroots tournament. It means they smash us when they play us, but just to watch them go against the other big teams, it's like watching United and City go against each other. It's really cool.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Belong Arena Clash from Mortal Kombat 11. I am joined by my co-host Dante. Give everyone the hello and what you think.
What's going on, everyone?
And, tonight is the final night of the group stages. This week is the final for all the teams in the groups, all 4 relevant groups. And tonight we have the Lakeside Leviathans up against
the York Vikings.
And do you have any thoughts, any predictions about which team you think is going to take it?
From what I've been hearing and what I understand, I feel like the Lakeside Leviathans have been doing really well this season. So my prediction would be on the Lakeside Leviathans, but it's not out the realm of possibility that the York Vikings could cause an upset. Just like, in fighting games, upsets happen all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's the thing is, in a team like format, I feel like upsets are harder to cause.
It's really about team momentum at that point.
Yeah, unless your team gets the momentum.
Your relevant players are doing. But I think that the Lakeside Leviathans have definitely been quite strong. And as we show the groups over here, standing at the very top of group number 1 is the Claymores, over at 3 wins with 1 loss, followed by the Guardians and Swarm, also with 3 wins and 1 loss apiece. Coming down to the Spartans, who are 2-2, the Invincibles at 1 win with 3 losses, and the Pirates at 0-4.
So in Group 2, we've got the Smugglers with 4 wins and 1 loss. We've got the Lionhearts with 3 wins, 1 loss. The Leviathans with 3 wins and 1 loss, who are playing today. So you can see they've been doing pretty well. So the Centurions, 2 wins, 2 losses, and then you got the Vikings, 1 win and 3 losses.
And in Group 3, we have the Rams sitting at the top with a flawless 4-0. They're at 4 wins with 0 losses. The Enigmas just underneath them with 3 wins and 1 loss. Kestrels with 2-2, as well as the Harriers with 2 wins and 2 losses, followed by the Hunters in very last place at 2 wins and 3 losses.
So we got the Steelers with 4 wins, 0 losses, doing really well. No losses for the Steelers. You got the Nighthawks, 3 wins, 1 loss. The Saints, 3 wins, 1 loss. Armada, 2 wins, 2 losses, and the Arrows with 1 win and 4 losses.
Okay, and the Lakeside Leviathans have proven to be very strong. We know that they have taken matches over the London Lionhearts as well in their groups, who are definitely no pushover team. As well as, I believe they lost to the Bristol Smugglers.
Ooh.
And overall, this is a very tight group. Right now, the Leviathans are facing potentially a three-way tie to make it out of this group. As they have exactly the same score as the London Lionhearts, who are also playing off-stream tonight.
Right. So, I believe that the Lakeside Leviathans, if they want to like get ahead in any sort of way, they have to really like dominate the York Vikings today.
Yeah, they have to really bring their A game tonight. And I only know one player on the Lakeside Leviathans, LGN Khan. I know that Khan has recently been playing a lot of Shang Tsung, so I'm not sure if Khan will be playing Shang Tsung tonight, but I also know him to play Cabal as well. So I'd be interested to see, just how he tackles this situation. A lot is riding on this team to really perform at the best that they can in order to secure themselves the way out from the group stages.
But, the York Vikings, they don't want to be the team that, loses and then helps the other team get further on. They want to put a stop to that.
Yeah, definitely.
And not lose on stream, basically. So, there's still something to fight for the York Vikings. So this is definitely going to be interesting. Very interesting.
And I'm not sure who the York Vikings play, which of the respective players play which characters, so I'm really interested to see that as well. As character variety is always nice. It's great to commentate different characters. And, just really see what everyone's bringing to the playing field.
Recently, I think we've been seeing a lot of the same, a few characters. Like, we see Cassie Cage a lot.
The characters that are quite notable for being very strong, right?
Yeah. Oh,
coming into game number one between LDN Khan and Bruce Leeds, we have a very surprising Kotal Khan pick. Actually, I don't know that Khan plays Kotal Khan. This is very interesting to me, but it's also pretty hype. So
Bruce Leeds with the Jackie Briggs, though.
Perhaps it's one of those very niche picks where no one knows the matchup really. We did see this as well at CEO, so maybe he's thinking to take this first game with pure unfamiliarity.
Maybe, yeah.
But he will be locked onto Kotal Khan if he does win this one. Bruce Leeds on Jackie Briggs, a very popular pick.
Oh, no punish on this.
Nice check with the down 4. Now, I won't know the notations for the Kotal Khan strings. However, I do understand what Kotal Khan can do a little. But I know that the sword slam into the sword ground smash into the slam that he did right there is an unblockable.
Is it?
It's slow and it's reactable, and I believe that he can be punished for trying to use it. However, Khan using it very well over there.
What do you do if you react to it? How do you get away from it?
I believe you can jump it. So nice. I think he dropped the combo there intentionally, so he could use the unblockable when they were getting up.
Oh.
Now holding the 9-frame strings in the corner, gets clipped by the low. And will he be punishing? Great punish with the crushing blow on the grease kick. But gets punished in return. That's going to crushing blow too.
Ooh. Nice.
Oh, drops the combo, unfortunately. Misses the clinch. That's the really important part for Jackie.
Big damage comes from that clinch.
And, well, I think that was a forward too, straight into the unblockable. A nice forward roll out to avoid the fatal blow and then punishing in return. Khan with a really surprising Kotal Khan pick. This is really cool, actually, because the character is really hyped to watch. And he's definitely, I wouldn't say slept on. It's definitely like there are many people, myself included, who do not know what to do against Kotal Khan because we don't play against Kotal Khans. And when you play him yourself, I mean, you can learn what the character does and how to do it, but you also have to learn how the player is playing Kotal Khan, like what they're doing after certain things. So I believe the unfamiliarity is definitely a big part of this.
I personally feel like he is kind of slept on. Like, from some of the stuff that I've seen from him and what players do with him, yeah, they do get some mileage out of unfamiliarity, but some of the tools that he's got do work. They just work.
Yeah.
Even there's obviously going to be ways to beat them, but there's ways to beat most tools in any fighting game, and it's like, you need to know that way to beat it, but it's just like he just has some tools that just seem to put people under pressure and do a lot of damage. I feel like he's
he's definitely like a scary character to deal with, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I suppose once you know the matchup inside and out, he's probably one of those characters that gets butchered
definitely.
quite hard. But that was a nice hit confirm.
But it's like
Bruce Leeds.
you can use the argument in a few like most matchups where if you know the matchup inside out, it's going to be hard for any character to beat you, even if they're really, really strong characters. So
we'll just have to see how Khan does going into this next game, being harassed a lot by the pokes. Nice little cheeky flawless block on that down 4 right there.
So Bruce Leeds needs to find
a really nice
way.
neutral jump hit confirmed in. That was a pretty late breakaway from Bruce Leeds over there. So Bruce Leeds is now down 2 defensive bars, 1 opener into a combo into the Kotal Khan down forward 2 is going to be a lot of damage catching Bruce Leeds with the command grab.
That's a command throw, right?
I believe it is a command grab.
Nice.
Oh, it gets caught with a fatal blow pressing buttons.
So he used it early. Do you agree with that decision?
Very early in the first round as well, so he no longer has access to this for the rest of the game. But I think it was a good decision if he wanted to just reset the pace of the match or the round.
So when you see someone using a fatal blow that early in a match, right, don't you think that shows that they're desperate?
I guess it can show fear. However, it can also be a tool to really get in the head of your opponent because it can catch them out. I do think they're better to hold for when you're closing out a game because it's just unbreakable damage, at least 300 unbreakable damage. But we did see the crushing blow come out from Bruce Leeds as well to take that first round. Potentially a wasted crushing blow as it does award a pop-up afterwards, so you can follow it up with a combo. But Khan is playing just pure aggressive right now.
Is that
Catches
a low
with the low.
That string?
I think it was a low. A lot of down ones. We're playing MKX again.
You see, you can
into
set
the
that
overhead. That was cheeky.
Set that unblockable up.
You can indeed drop it early and then set it up afterwards.
You see,
followed
man,
by the big leg.
There's always ways to utilize those tools well.
Clip to the dash punch, but roll out the corner. Nice confirm into the down forward 2. Khan really is
that's cheap.
Really just completely harassing Bruce Leeds right now, which is not something
cheap.
we see very often. You know, Kotal Khan harassing a Jackie Briggs, but caught with a crushing blow. This is big damage into the unblockable reset. That was a total of over 350 damage into the forward throw. Are we going to see a brutality? I don't know if this will brutal. I think it does. But does he have it?
Oh, it's brutality.
Oh no, it isn't.
It's not. I thought it was.
Into the big leg. I almost called it the stanky leg.
That throw is violent, man. He just slams you on your head twice.
Yeah, it's not just that. He bathes in your blood. He bathes in your gut blood.
So it's like, so you saw that unblockable setup that he was using a lot right there, but that is not the only unblockable setup that Kotal Khan has. I saw another one where
I don't think it actually would work because I think if he drops the combo early in order to set up for the unblockable or to use it when you're getting up, you could probably delay wake up or you could probably
there's going to be options to beat it. There's definitely going to be options to beat it, but
it's just a matter of understanding when he's going to use it.
Yeah, and then he's got other ones as well. He's got other ones where if he's close to ending a match, I don't know if it's that variant that he can do it from, but he can do when he brings the light up from the ground.
The God Rays.
And
I think that's in variation number 1.
He can set that up. So he gets guaranteed damage after a combo and things like that.
Yeah.
So obviously there's going to be ways to break it, but if you have no resources and things like that, and you're not expecting certain options, he can catch you out and do a lot of damage with it. Which in my opinion is very
I did get a chance to catch which variation Khan was actually playing. I don't know if it was variation 1 or 2. I couldn't tell by the icon.
But that's the thing, though.
I think it might have been the same one that you're talking about. I think he was probably playing
he did do that
because
thing, though.
He did have the down forward 2, which is Kotal Khan's forward 2 from MKX. And I think that's only in variation 1, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
Because either way, though, really strong showing from him.
Yeah,
taking
very,
out
very
Jackie Briggs
showing.
as well
with
Kotal Khan is.
And I feel like Kotal Khan's going to be one of those characters that over time in Mortal Kombat, there's going to slowly be more Kotal Khan players coming out.
Yeah, definitely. I think that after a major patch, he could potentially be a stronger character.
Yeah, definitely.
And these Kotal Khan mains are going to be really rewarded. But going into game number 2 over here, we have Scorpion versus Jade, which is
what's going on
maybe
here?
There was an incorrect character pick. So it could be trying to wait it out right now. But Scorpion versus Jade in general is a very interesting match. I think it's very difficult for Jade because
I was going to say that as well.
Her projectiles are quite slow in startup, giving Scorpion quite a lot of time to actually teleport and return to that. However, her straight glaive toss on the ground also spins around her when she amplifies it.
Right.
I think the normal one does as well. However, I don't know if the normal one clips people as often, because
Yeah.
if you try to teleport on a Jade, as soon as she throws the glaive, the moment it's spinning around her body, it can actually clip you during the teleport,
Right.
because it does travel from behind her as
Okay.
well. So, but that's like a really situational thing. It's a trade. I do think that you can just more react when she's throwing it, and the moment it leaves her hand, then she can be punished by the teleport.
Right.
So I can't really imagine it being very nice for Jade. I mean, Scorpion has, he has damage going for him.
I feel
He's-
like he would probably have decent tools to battle her in the neutral as well. With
Yeah,
the,
definitely. A lot of staggers as well with forward 3, forward 4. And I just imagine that being very difficult for Jade.
Yeah.
But it could be an
matchups-
incorrect pick as well.
Matchups are on paper, like the players still have to play the matchup. And,
Yeah, definitely.
you always see people win in bad matchups in tournament all the time, and that's one thing that's kind of good about tournament setting is that mostly it's like short sets, and in short sets, I feel like matchups they still do matter, but you can kind of make it not matter as much because in a longer set, the player that's the matchup is good for can really start to get in their own, their own, like the way they play, and like downloading everything you do, and then
adaptations,
utilize,
like
adapt like
just
their
adaptations
playstyle.
a huge part of competitive fighting games. Understanding what patterns your opponent has, if they have any habits that they have. Some people like to do a lot of for example, like pokes into specials, which usually are pretty unsafe. If you have a Scorpion player who's doing down 4 into the chain whip, the down forward 4 and the variation 2, then all it really is just a matter of patience to adapt to that situation. Block the down 4, block the follow up, and punish him for it. So adaptation is definitely a big part of it.
Like
And
you can adapt to the opponent's play style, and then you can start to
Worry
use
about
the
the matchup
small
after
things that make the matchup bad, and use that against the player, and it can start to mentally break the opponent. So, but in a shorter set, it's harder to do that, especially when someone's got that they're nervous and they've got that adrenaline. They're not thinking about the matchup; they're just thinking about how do I break my opponent right now.
like how to win, really. Understanding your win
win?
conditions is a very big thing in any aspect of competitive gaming, really.
It all comes
and
down
then-
to fundamentals. Like,
Yeah.
you can be a very bad matchup, but if you have the fundamentals and you know how to use those against your opponent, you can win. You can win.
We do have character changes over here, and we have Jade being picked up by Ryu over on the York Vikings side, and in the Lakeside Leviathans we have Tuna Bees on Shang Tsung, and I believe this is the first Shang Tsung we're seeing.
This is the first.
This is the first Shang Tsung, and I love this character. I think he's really cool. I can't play him at all, but that body drop is really interesting to me because Jade's her invulnerability to projectiles, the purple that she surrounds herself in, that is not immune to the body drop, which is an overhead.
So that's overhead.
It's an overhead.
Wow.
However, if there is the bar spent on it to amplify it, you can jump the second hit every time.
Right.
Oh,
Wow, crushing blow.
Oh, I think that was an accidental crushing blow, or maybe in the options, crushing blow health check was not turned on. That's really unfortunate for Tuna Bees right there, because that's a very big crushing blow for Shang Tsung,
Yeah.
which is triggered by only hitting the overhead portion, but a nice confirm into Hell Sparks. Cheeky little 262 damage, but it gets clipped by the forward 2-4.
Wow, nice combo by Tuna Bees there.
Oh, gets
crushing
caught with a
blow.
crushing blow, but forces the breakaway.
Shang Tsung looks like such a weird character.
He's a very interesting character, isn't he?
Am I mistaken?
Just
He was
out
the
of
gu-
range every time.
He was the guy in the last Mortal Kombat who was bold, and he was like,
Quan Chi.
that was Quan Chi, right? He
Yeah,
reminds
Quan Chi
me of
is
Quan Chi a little bit.
essentially... Quan Chi and Shang Tsung are almost two sides of the same coin. They're just like the evil sorcerers in the Mortal Kombat lore.
Right, yeah.
Shang Tsung didn't make
Wow,
an
the
appearance in the
body
last
drop.
Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah,
Quan Chi
like,
did, and now Quan Chi isn't in this one, and Shang Tsung is.
right, yeah,
But
like,
first game going over to the Lakeside Leviathans, it's almost funny to me to see a Jade being outzoned by a different character. But you know, it was really nice to see the Shang Tsung using the body drop a lot to stuff the purple option from Jade. You know, make her really scared to do anything in the neutral. You're really just applying a lot of pressure from her from far away.
And then when he got close, he was still doing work. He was still poking her down with those little strings and stuff. He was landing his combos. He just played really well. But yeah, Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, they've always been like very like good at that kind of zoning kind of play style.
They play a very specific play style, and I like to
well.
think of it as the sorcerer play style. Like it's quite unique.
It is unique. It is unique. Like they're not terrible up close either.
Yeah.
And like when they're far away, they have unique tools that you have to be ready for. And if you don't if you're not ready for those unique tools,
you
can kind of get run over.
You're about to have your soul stolen if you don't know what you're doing.
You have to get used to the matchup. They're very weird matchups to get used to.
He is still quite a new character, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure that time will definitely help these players become more accustomed. That was a sick anti-air. Whether it was intentional or not doesn't even matter anymore. That was cool. Nice confirm on the up skills right there. Getting the dash up follow-up.
Jesus.
So there's the body drop, really using it to harass, taking out a lot of damage for free. Tunabe's really using that.
He done like 60% just zoning.
Yeah, just in clipping with the body drop.
He's got the purple now though. Hits the one kick.
And a nice duck right there on the blazing nitro kick. Forces the breakaway. That's a very late breakaway in the round. I'm not sure I agree with that. Going down 2 defensive bars. Drops the combo. Unfortunately, the wiggle stick whiffing. And Tunabe's only needs to win one more round over here to take the second game for the Lakeside Leviathans.
He knows that that's not over.
Now, I wonder if we'll see any soul stealing. Whether Tunabe's knows. Oh, just as I say it right there, your soul. Give me that.
What?
It's the Jade mirror match right now.
What? He
is now Jade.
Change characters like that. That is mad.
Shang
that
Tsung's
is so
hype.
gimmicky.
Shang Tsung is sick.
That is so gimmicky.
He's been doing that for a long time, my friend. He's been stealing the bodies of people, and now he's dropping the other bodies from the Netherrealm. And a lot of respect just being shown by Ryu right now. Not really taking the option to go in, but a nice catch with the overhead into the wiggle stick. Doesn't drop it this time. Nice air glaives. This is looking a bit more doable until I just cursed.
Let's see a fatality.
Oh, the mercy! Are you sure? You want to be doing this?
He's sure.
This is comeback potential right here for Ryu, but it's looking pretty weak right now.
I at least want to see a fatality at the end of this, at least.
Well, Tunabe's, will we see a fatal? There it is. Oh, this is the messed up one. This is visceral. Oh. Oh! The noises it makes when the skeleton's ripped out. Oh, music to my ears. I love it. Oh, I love it.
Was that? What?
You can't even believe it, can you? I love that stuff.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty violent. But it's Mortal Kombat. I mean, if you're not expecting violence, then you might be playing the wrong game.
Dark guy.
Shang Tsung is a pretty messed up guy.
You don't want to mess with that guy. But yeah, where is he summoning these bodies from?
From his closet. I don't know.
He probably just has like.
It's all the skeletons in his closet, isn't it?
Some stack of bodies.
From under the patio.
He's summoning them from somewhere. He's obviously got the bodies.
I'm not sure, mate. I think Shang Tsung's a GTA character. He just pulls it out of his pocket. But right now, the Lakeside Leviathans are up 2 games over the Vikings. They are up 2 games. But, you know, in terms of Shang Tsung, his design in this game is phenomenal. We saw the story skin, or sorry, not the story skin, the movie skin over there in that match coming out from Tunabe's. The movie skin from the original Mortal Kombat movie, I believe it came out in 1995, 94 or 95, around then. And this version of Shang Tsung in this game is modeled off of Kari Tagawa from the original movies, who played Shang Tsung.
See, this is what I like. I like that. I like the fan service that they use.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it?
For Mortal Kombat. I wish other fighting games, you know, took more leaves out of their book, because they do it really well to please the fans and fans of you know, characters and things like that.
And that is true. Into the third game, we are Snow versus Chris. we have Baraka versus Sub-Zero.
Oh, crushing blow. That did a lot.
Clip to the overhead. Nice forward throw to close out the round. That was actually a very quick round. We did see a lot of slides coming out from Snow as well. I believe that if at that sort of range, Chris probably just needs to low block, and then when he comes in, he tends to do the overhead as well.
Right.
So this match right here is going to be a bit of a scramble until the... I believe that definitely blocking that slide is the key to...
He can't break the momentum. Chris just can't break it. Like,
Nice slide under the blade sparks right there.
all over him. He's all
Snow
over him.
is unrelenting right now. That was a beautiful block, but unfortunately doesn't get the combo follow-up. Snow taking that game very, very quickly. Playing Thin Ice Sub-Zero.
And that was just
That was
fast.
just destruction. But I do believe that, you know, Chris just starts low blocking. It's going to be very problematic for Snow because it's a free punish every single time the slide is blocked.
That's the thing though. If someone's not very familiar in the Sub-Zero matchup and they get caught off guard, that we've seen it a few times. That's what happens. Like,
I feel like Sub-Zero's slide is definitely one of his more, you know, unique moves. It's a very characteristic move for Sub-Zero. He's had to slide for a very long time, along with Reptile. But so it's kind of something, if you're a Mortal Kombat player, you should be expecting.
definitely.
However, it is pretty easy to hesitate once you get clipped by a lot of slides. A lot of slides can also feel random at times, so it can really throw you off. It's just a really fast
It does come out
low.
pretty fast, so it's like, you know, you do have to kind of be ready for it, and you need to be ready for the ice ball as well. Those are like two main things, and then obviously the rest of it will be just like, you know, string knowledge, what's the overhead, what's the low. So if you can just get the first few stages out of the way, like, you know, blocking the slide and not getting caught by the ice ball.
The overhead as well. The overhead opened him up a fair bit, which is the axe hit into the heel kicks. That is an overhead starter, and the full string is -8, I believe, which is punishable.
Oh,
Ducking
Chris.
the down 2 and punching with a down 2 of their own. A nice combo follow-up, forward 4 into gutted, into another one, double crushing blow combo. That's 480 damage plus the damage over time. That's a lot.
That combo did a lot of damage, and Snow's nearly dead. He needs to get
Just
hit
from that
like
one. Baraka
more
hits
time.
pretty hard. He
Whoa.
did expend 2 crushing blows
got him in
for
the
it
corner.
though, but this is the corner
Fatal
mix-up.
blow's gonna come probably.
Oh, the down 2
with
disrespecting the
punish.
highs.
Oh, hit him out of the
Snow
fatal
with
blow.
the comeback.
What a
Says
comeback.
use your crushing blows. I don't care. This round's mine.
What a comeback.
Absolute
What a comeback.
robbery.
And he went straight into the slide again.
Right into the
Hits him
meaty
with the
ice ball
ice
right
ball.
there. Snow looking pretty good right now.
Wow.
Caught again with the slide. This time amplifying it. with the
He's
extra
throwing
bar.
projectiles
And
and stuff.
again, the next one is going to crushing blow. Are we going to see it? That is unsafe with a nice punish. Unfortunately, doesn't get the combo follow-up. And clipped by the overhead. It's all or nothing right now for Chris, who unfortunately gets clipped with the back 3 string, but mercied. This is in. There's the crushing blow. It's he didn't use
Straight
it.
into the
He
slide.
didn't use it. That was kill. That just looks strange. Nice block right there on the slide into the punish. Is this the start of something beautiful?
Chris has a chance. There's no way. There's
Oh,
no way.
unlucky. Clipped by the down 4. Snow moving that forwards for the Lakeside Leviathans, who are now 3-0 up over the York Vikings.
So what I noticed about Snow right there is he was playing well, but it was literally what I would call sort of a tendency or a pattern. Is what he would do is throw a projectile, make you block it, make you think he's not going to do nothing else, and then straight away slide, and then the slide will get him, and then he will basically repeat that process. And if he got Chris into the corner, it was just like Chris didn't know how to deal with the offense. Like,
That's true,
he
but Chris
panicked.
definitely, he brought out such a great combo as well in that round. The round that he unfortunately did lose, but I still think that there's a lot he can learn just from losing those 2 games.
Definitely.
Really, just change some things about that, because all it really comes down to, if you're about mid screen away from Sub-Zero, you can just hold down. You hold down, or you can crouch block if you like.
He just wasn't expecting it. He's thinking, I've blocked the fireball. It's my turn. I can move. I can do something. I don't have to just sit here and defend. But it's obviously probably a common setup to see from Sub-Zero players that if you do block a projectile at a certain range or whatnot, they will probably go for the slide. And You know, if you're
It's
not
just
ready for that,
it's a very Rago option because it's so unsafe.
it's so unsafe. But if the Sub-Zero player knows that it's working,
Then
why
yeah,
not?
yeah, if it works, then why
If
not
it's
just
not getting punished,
keep doing it?
It might as well be safe. If it's not getting
Yeah,
punished,
okay, I agree with you there. And I definitely feel like, you know, Sub-Zero can be one of the characters that he really can put people under a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
really.
definitely.
I know that when I play against TQT Sub-Zero, it definitely doesn't feel easy. But over here, I believe we may have had an incorrect character select, possibly due to timeout in the character select as they're switching over players. But that will be sorted out momentarily.
so we're just
and-
gonna get him to switch characters, right?
Yep, it'll just go back into it very shortly, so we do apologize about the minor delay,
Right.
but we'll be back into it very soon.
So right now it's looking pretty bad. Like
It's looking tough for the York Vikings, but they've shown signs of life in every one of these games, and I would like to see them make the adaptations from here just to really think about how they lost and what they could do differently.
Like, you can tell they're not bad players. Like that Chris, he landed a very optimal combo right there, and he's shown that he knows what he's doing. He knows combos, but he just struggled in that specific matchup. I don't know how Sub-Zero actually matches up with Baraka, but you know.
I'm not sure actually. I think they might go relatively even. I think Variation 1 for Sub-Zero might be a bit better in the matchup because you can just play a pure mix-up game and then go into restands. And I
Right.
can't really imagine that'd be very fun for Baraka. But Baraka's damage output
He's very
is
large, yeah.
very high.
Yeah.
So in that variation that Chris was playing, you have access to Gutted, which is a special move specific to that variation, inputted by back forwards 4 or back forwards circle or B, depending on your console. And that alone is a really easy command grab to hit. You can hit confirm into it very easily, so you see one of your hits connect or one of your combo strings connect and you go straight into Gutted. You get an extension that at least guarantees you about 35% damage for the one bar.
Wow.
So you can opt to end it. You can end long combos as well in forward 4 Gutted, which gives you the crushing blow and applies damage over time. Or you can end it in forward 4 Chop Chop to go for the literal barrage of blades, and then enforce a mix-up from there.
Right.
I do really like Baraka as a character. I think he's a strong character. He has weaknesses, like most characters in this game. However, I do think that he's a character that's made for punishing. He's made for punishing you for
Your
making
mistakes.
for your
Yeah.
mistakes or your decision making. So patience goes a long way with him.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I feel like learning combos and your execution, I feel like that's one of the first things you do when you're like learning fighting games. Like, you learn the combos and your execution, etc. But then after like that kind of stuff, that's when you start to pick up like matchups and just like other little things like punishment and stuff like that.
That's true, and as we go into the next game over here, the breakaway is used to stop the soul steal, which I agree with, actually. I think that was a very good breakaway coming out from Bruce Leeds. Tuna B's back on the patented Shang Tsung. It's nice to see Shang being played. And we'll have to see how Bruce Leeds handles this matchup, as we know that Jackie doesn't have any full screen options. She has mid-screen options, like her dash punch. However, it is a high and can be punished as well just by ducking.
That's a bit weird, considering in the last game she was more of a projectile character.
Yeah, they really changed her character in this one. She kind of transitioned from being a very gun-heavy character to being this gadget-using martial artist.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great change for Jackie as a character. I think she's super cool in this game. She's just a very frustrating character to fight with because she's got very impressive moves and she's got really strong rushdown. But that was a nice combo right there, not dropping it this time as Bruce Leeds. Already stacking up the clinch. Will we see a back throw? No back throw.
I'd say her rushdown is probably where she excels, but like in the full screen kind of game with all the projectiles and stuff, I don't feel like she has the best options to deal with that.
She definitely is a character that can get zoned out. However, patience with Jackie Briggs and waiting for your moment, waiting for your time to strike and closing it in. It's very tough to deal with her when she's up close.
You'll have to know matchups though to get in and not get zoned out like that.
That is true. I think you just need to... Oh, the body drop doesn't come out on the finish him screen. That's strange. That is a sick looking back four. That's like one of the first times I've seen Shang's back four, and that looked awesome. The little like the curves in the ground from like the Molten, that was awesome. But anyway, Tunibees taking that first game very convincingly, I believe. And
That was way too convincing. It felt like, you know, Jackie Briggs got in,
but
like
couldn't
tried
stay
the
in.
offense. It worked, and then as soon as she got pushed out to a certain distance, it was like she had no
It was
chance.
like climbing up a mountain.
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
it's
You
just
know,
like
you
no
really have
chance.
to just go through that struggle of closing that distance again. I'm surprised that we didn't see or haven't really seen Bruce Lee's going to stack up the different moves for during the clinch, which is her grab, where she holds you by like the shoulders, I believe.
Yeah.
She has 4 options out of that, and we know that if you do all 4 of them, the final one, or when you press 1 after it, the elbow drop, it will crushing blow, which is huge damage for
Huge
Jackie.
damage, yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
However,
Loads of damage.
Shang Tsung's one of those characters that, like, once you get clipped, he's gonna knock you really far back. Those up skulls knock you pretty far away, so he's gonna just send you back to full screen
definitely.
and make you work to get back in again.
And I feel like probably breaking the combo against Jackie as well, especially if you're a zone heavy character, like breaking the combo against Jackie probably isn't the worst option in the world. Sometimes
Yeah.
if you know they're going to go for the big damage, just break the combo, get her away from you, and then just zone her out again and force her to get back in.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's just the prospect of dealing with rushdown. You know, it's never fun. If you're playing as a zoning character or a character that would preferably like to keep opponents at a certain range, I definitely feel that. I played Kenshi in Mortal Kombat X, and zoning in that game, a game with a run button,
Yeah.
it can be stressful.
Yeah,
In this game, I
definitely.
mean, it's all just about, you know, working to keep your opponent out so you can play your game comfortably, because you know that the moment they get in, it's just going to be like you're getting, you know, suffocated. It feels like that because a character like Jackie can just start throwing out 9-frame mids on you. She can start throwing out really oppressive normals and start mixing it in with throws, which make it very difficult, and it can be very overwhelming. However, keeping her out is the best way to deal with her.
Yeah. And I feel like Quan Chi is probably
Shang.
Shang Tsung, sorry, yeah, is one of the best characters probably at doing that. So
Okay,
apparently Lakeside have picked the wrong players.
So the roster list is not accurate right now. We're working to sort out those issues right now, but you know, we'll be back into it real soon. And so with Mortal Kombat 11, there are really big changes between Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat 11. As I was talking about zoning before, I think that, you know, the way that they changed both games it's really something, because I've not known Mortal Kombat to be a game without meters since Mortal Kombat 9. It was a big part of Mortal Kombat for me, like having 3 bars, using a bar to EX a move, 2 bars to use a breaker to stop a combo. And none of that is in Mortal Kombat 11. They completely redrafted the entire system. So you have 2 offensive bars, which can be used to amplify your special moves, or they can be used to do get-up attacks or wake-up attacks, and the defensive bars, which you can expend 2 of them for, to do breakaways, as you saw in the past few games as well, where characters use the armored fast fall to hit the ground earlier, and it changed the meta of Mortal Kombat, really, or not the meta, it changed how things are, I guess, conventionally done, because you can break out of a combo at a very specific time during the other characters', let's say, high recovery move, and then punish them just for doing their own combo.
Right.
So if you have a Scorpion who throws out Spear a lot, and he tries to extend the combo using the Spear, and you break away just as he goes into it, you'll have enough time to get back up and punish him during the recovery of the actual Spear animation. Same
That's
thing
rough.
with Kung Lao's spin. He spins in place
How
for
do
quite
you
a while.
prepare for that? How do you prepare for that? How do you know,
So
like...
what high-level players tend to do is they tend to use down 2 if they think someone's going to break away, because they take a lot of raw damage and it doesn't leave you in a punishable state.
Right.
With Scorpion specifically, I know that there's an option where you can do forward 3 after you get let's say you hit a teleport confirm and you've launched the opponent. You can do forward 3 and it'll hover them, basically just enough for you to throw out 1-1-2. If you throw out 1-1-2 and they break away, they're eating the forward 3 and the 1-1-2 damage from the breakaway.
Right, yeah.
And if they don't break away, you have enough time to just do forward 3, 1-1 spear.
So
and then
you
continue
have
the combo.
you have basically like option selects for
for people breaking away.
People breaking away.
And breakaways are vulnerable as well to fatal blows. So if you read someone doing a breakaway, especially at a very crucial time where it's basically anyone's game in the last round, and you read their breakaway, using a fatal blow will completely negate all of the armor on it, and they'll go into the full cinematic.
Right.
And that is an amazing tool as well. It plays a great mind game. I really reckon that you can get into people's heads a lot just by making one good read with a fatal blow. They also bypass the invincibility on the up 3 wake-ups. They... let's see. Well, everyone's got like different fatal blows anyway, so some are better at punishing things, and some are better used in the neutral. We know that there's... Like, I'd say Shao Kahn's doesn't have a very high startup, like Cassie Cage's. However, they can be comboed into, and they're also really good whiff punishers. So if you have an opponent that likes to press a lot of buttons, or likes to do a lot of things, they will just shut them down completely if you use them correctly. But I think it's a really important mechanic that they added into this game. It's a lot of unbreakable damage. It beats the breakaway option. It beats a wake-up option. It really comes down to like how well you use that tool. And
we also got the flawless block as well, didn't we?
Yeah, that's true. Flawless block is another huge part of Mortal Kombat 11. I think it's possibly the coolest thing they added in terms of the entire overhaul to the system of the game and how it works. For Mortal Kombat, since Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat X ran very similar in terms of their meter system and how the games are. But the flawless block is a new mechanic where you can block, I think it's a 3-frame window. And within the flawless block, you have options to do an up 3 or an up 2. You can flawless block and then go for a punish afterwards.
Yeah.
But if you choose to do an up 3 or an up 2, which is the up 2 tending to be like the more conventional method, you can full combo someone just for trying to use a certain string or a certain anything, just for trying to do something to you offensively. And it also lowers down the amount of chip damage you take. However, if you're flawless blocking just something raw, it can be a bit hard, and it might not be worth the risk, because if you're using an offensive bar and a defensive bar just to use the up 2 from the flawless block. So it's 2 bars you're using, both for 2 different things. But using that means you have only access to one enhanced special move, and you don't have access to breakaway. So if you do get clipped, you have to eat that full damage, praying that the other person doesn't, or praying that the other person drops their combo. Otherwise, you're eating a lot.
So it feels like there's a lot of depth to MK11 in a lot of like situations where that are not. Like, there wouldn't be as much depth to this specific situation in other fighting games. Like, they've added depth to areas that aren't normally deep. And
with the flawless block, I think the depth of it hasn't really been like too in depth right now. I think that we are gonna see like more come out from that mechanic itself, but with the updated scores over here,
4-0.
They are 4-0.
This is the correct way the match is played out.
So yeah, we did have a bit of a mix-up in the player orders, but now the entire table, as you see it right now, is correct. The Lakeside Leviathans are still up 4-0 over the York Vikings in the first set.
But yeah, as I was saying, there's depth to this game in like weird areas.
Yeah, I definitely think all of it hasn't even been close to discovered. I'm seeing option selects for people doing strings that are only slightly disadvantageous on block, so not inherently punishable, but let's say a string that is -7, for example.
Then it can get mixed up afterwards.
Well, so what happens is, if Baraka does like forward 4-4, which I believe is like -7, there's a certain timing that you can press block after that during your recovery, where you will flawless block counter pokes.
Right.
So if the opponent is going to try and down 1 you, down 3 you, or throw out like a 9-frame mid, there are options that you can take.
You can
block
set
at a certain time, and then you can flawless block them just for trying to counter poke.
You can set up the flawless block. So they're using it basically like a parry, in as a parry would
pretty
be
much like that.
Fighting game.
And it just goes to say, well, it's the same as any hard read situation, really. But going over here, if the Lakeside Leviathans win this game, they are going to take the first set 5-0, which will move on into the second one.
Tunabees is just running.
But right now, Tunabees is not giving Ryu the time to really breathe right there. Ryu not really using the block button. And it's just rough
Straight away,
from here
slide.
on out.
Raw slide straight at the start.
No fear. Absolutely none. That's going to crushing blow. The counter hit right there. The 4-2-4. And caught with the interactable as well. The Kaitin are not happy with you. Oh, whiff on the air glaives, unfortunately.
Not having it.
One more hit is going to take it. Caught by the overhead. Tunabe's taking game number 1 very quickly. And I really would like to say Ryu's full name, but I don't think I can pronounce it.
I can't pronounce it either.
I can't even read the full name.
That is a very long name. But
That was a very quick game. That was a very quick game number 1. I think the Lakeside Leviathans are definitely hungry for this win. They want to start closing this out.
Tunabe's is too good, man. I want to see him play like, you know, some of the other stronger players in the league.
Well, it really comes down to how well they do over here, right? They've got to make it out the group
to that.
stages, make it to the playoffs, and then they can start playing against the other
But
high-profile teams and players.
How it's looking is going how they want it to go. Like for them, this is the best case scenario. If they could make a perfect sweep, then they're in a very good position to make it through.
That's true.
So,
that's true. All these points really matter because in group number, I believe it's group number 2, in this group that the Lakeside Leviathans are in, along with the Vikings, you have 2 other very strong teams who are sitting at the top of the tables right now, which are the Bristol Smugglers and the London Lionhearts. And both those teams, you know, have solid players. So right now, the Leviathans are... Every single one of these matches matters. All these points matter in order to qualify for the playoffs and to go and progress further in this tournament. We're seeing the first Cassie Cage pick of the night as well, coming from Ryu.
To me, I don't think Tunabe's is like bothered about what character Ryu picks. But as I say that, he got hit. But
yeah, I think the plan is just to rush them down and make them suffer. But caught with the overhead into the slide, just the meaty slide right there.
It's so fast because it's like if you're in the neutral and you're not crouching against Scorpion, then you can just get launched. It's like
the Sub-Zero. Oh, caught with a down 2 crushing blow into the slide, amplifying it right there, losing out on a lot of damage, but it's still damage regardless.
Oh,
nice, using the ice ball to trade with the meter burn gunshots, the amplified gunshots, sorry.
So it's like in other fighting games when 2 projectiles are out at the same time, normally they will collide and they will cancel each other out. But
yeah, that's not the case in this. They will go straight past each other.
Yeah.
And Sub-Zeros can't use that to force a trade.
Yeah.
But Tunabe's taking that 2-0 very convincingly. We are going to see the executioning fatality.
That is medieval stuff, man. Look at the half of the tongue on the bottom left.
That's a really satisfying. I think all the fatalities in this game are really satisfying, to be honest. They're all just really nice to look at.
Yeah,
the slowdown at the end.
I think
that's the good stuff.
I think the Shang Tsung one was the most gruesome one I've seen yet.
I think it probably is like the most gruesome one so far.
That's
arguable, but it's pretty. It's pretty dark.
Yeah, I think another one was from what's her name again, man? The blood woman with the tongue. Scarlet, and she pumps your heart with too much blood.
That one makes me cringe. The Lakeside Leviathans are 5-0. They are going to take this first set, and they are going to go into the next one as well. And if that ends up being a 5-0, the Lakeside Leviathans are going to look super strong because that puts them at then 4 wins and 1 loss with a clean 10-0. The York Vikings definitely have an uphill battle over here. It is going to be pretty hard for them to come back from the situation, but I do think that it is doable. It's just going to be tough. They really have to think about what they're going to do, because right now the Leviathans are kind of walking all over them, and they're letting them play their game.
Oh, Kotal Khan's back.
Oh, I can't wait to see more Kotal Khan. LDN Khan, when did you start playing this character, and why is he so cool? I still think Shao Kahn is cooler, but Kotal's
wow, where did
LDN
LDN Khan's health go to?
Baraka things, I guess.
Like, I didn't see him get hit that much, and he's like nearly down half health.
That'll change very soon. A lot of down ones coming out into the unblockable right there.
He's just gonna rinse that reset on people.
Throwing out the corner though. Let's see if that's worth it.
Did he drink the blood?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he
'Cause he
drinks it.
wiped
It's probably,
his
it's probably
mouth.
part of his 5 a day, isn't it?
He wiped his mouth like he drunk it.
Yeah, I mean, these Oshtek's, they're pretty wild. And right here, bathing
Drinks the
in
blood.
that blood, wiping it off his face right there into a tick grab. The standing one into the
He's
command grab.
drinking it.
This is lovely.
That is
Lovely.
disgusting.
This is so oppressive, such aggressive Kotal Khan play, and it looks amazing to
what?
look at. Look at the unblockable right there.
That unblockable hits from that far.
It hits from that far away. And the names could be messed up. We could have different players over here. However, all that's important right now is that we did see Baraka versus Kotal Khan, and I
Right.
believe that the Baraka could be it could be Chris if that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
However, Kotal Khan, again, dominant performance, taking this game like it is nothing. I think that the unfamiliarity is going such a long way right now because he is being pure oppressive. And such aggressive play is really rewarding right now for the Leviathans because they're just closing this out and banging these games out like they are nothing.
Yeah, it's unfamiliarity is definitely a thing in fighting games. If you're not familiar with a certain character, if you're a tournament player,
It needs to be done, right? You need to learn
you have
matchups.
to research. You have to, especially those characters. Like, say if you know like 5 top characters that are most used. If you want to like do well in tournaments, part of it is actually knowing matchups that not a lot of other people know. Because
That's true.
you're not-
Everyone has a
they-
pocket pick.
Because like there's loads of good players that go to tournaments, but they lose to this certain matchup just because they didn't know, and they could have done so well, but they didn't know this one matchup or these 2 matchups, and they lost. And the best players, they know the most matchups. Like in every fighting game,
I think they deal with the matchups the best, or the best way that their characters can deal with the matchups. I think, like Kotal, there's no shame in not knowing a matchup this early in the game's life. It's not often you will find someone who's proficient at playing Kotal Khan or these other niche picks like Devora or Kano. You don't see these kinds of players very often, or Shao Kahn or Frost. People don't tend to play these characters very often because they aren't as good as the other characters in the game. However, you have character loyalists, people who think that they're really cool, and these people put the time into their characters, and they can make these characters very scary in a versus-2 situation.
And on top of that, tech is still being found.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, so it's like, it doesn't, like, even if you know the matchup to a certain extent...
I don't know the Kotal Khan matchup.
They can bring out, like, this certain setup that can change the whole matchup, being like, I've never seen that before. And then, again, you have to lab. And so it's a constant thing, and it's just like, that's how fighting games are. This is why it's not, like, if you lose, it's good to realize why you lost.
Yeah.
Because if you lose and then you just take every loss to heart, like, oh, I'm bad and I'm like, I just
Been there,
can't
done that.
win,
Not very
then
healthy.
that's not the right mentality to
Yeah,
have. You need
definitely
to realize,
not. You need to just understand what you need to do to win.
You need to realize whether you got outplayed, whether you lost because you just get strong, or you lost because you didn't know X, Y, Z about this matchup. So
Yeah, well, sometimes it can be hard to face the truth about reasons why you lost as well.
But the best players are the most honest players with themselves. Like they know why they lose, and they realize why they lost, and they analyze it, and then they get better from that. That's the best way to get better.
They're very important across the board in pretty much most competitive games. I think all, if it's. I don't know how relevant they are in certain sports games. I don't know what changes in those because I don't know the genre too much.
Matchups are
but in games like League of Legends or Overwatch,
even in shooters, like
you need to
if someone's
what the other
got one
character's
weapon,
doing.
if someone's got one weapon and you've got another, and you two are in a gunfight, whoever's gun matches up better against the other gun is likely to win the gunfight if you're both hitting bullets on each other.
Well, I know nothing about Counter-Strike per se, so I can't comment on that. But matchups are definitely very important. It's always helpful to know what your opponent can do, what options they can take. LD and Khan, this time playing Shang Tsung. This is what we know him for. Over here, catching with the forward 2-4 into the up skulls.
Oh,
Nice soul steal, stealing Jackie Briggs. That's a big one. Dash punch, trade.
Oh, trade.
We can see another one. Oh, the duck into the down two crushing blow. Oh, he wasted it because the combo ended from the change back. Nice confirm into the soul seal right here. He's just gonna turn back anyway.
I changed them.
This guy's dark, man.
Shang Tsung is so cool. Young Shang over here as well. My man's got the anti-aging cream from the souls of the thousands of people he's stolen. And his boy Goro is still dead in the background. We need an F in chat for Goro. Frankly, leave Goro at the game. I mean, what
kind of
grabs right here, forward throws for days, whiffing the 1-1. That was a nice delayed wake up from Bruce Leeds.
So Bruce Lee's trying to get something going, but
he's definitely playing a lot better than the previous games, but the drop on the soul steal right there gets caught with a forward twice in a row. Third time, no luck.
Big front kick.
Into the throw. Your soul is mine. Oh, there it is.
Wow, like the brutality was literally...
Oh, he's got Ermac out.
Wait, what? Why did he change to Ermac?
He can turn into all the ninjas when he does the brutality. You can turn into Ermac. So actually, I think there's 4 ninjas he can turn into. The ones that aren't available in the game. So Ermac, Smoke, Reptile, and Rain.
Right.
Because, unfortunately, not a tournament legal variation, but Shang Tsung does have special moves where he does turn into the other ninjas.
Right.
He steals their special moves from Mortal Kombat 9. So,
and it's not tournament legal, though?
It's not tournament legal,
wow.
But I would love to see a third variation being added for everyone across the board in general. But, like, if there was a variation for Shang Tsung where he could use all of his ninja abilities, oh my god, it would be amazing.
Isn't he, like, arguably one of the scariest characters in the game? Just because... Okay, the other characters will kill you in a gruesome way. This guy, not only is he going to kill you, he's going to take your soul.
Yeah.
He's going to take your whole soul. You don't even get to keep your soul. Like
you don't get to keep anything.
You don't even get to keep your soul,
your soul
bro.
can't
like,
hold the L because he's got your soul.
That is cheap, man. Man like Goro in the background, you know.
Rip Goro. Nice poke out of the forward 4 this time, not getting caught by it. But gets caught by the second hit of the upskulls. I feel like a dash punch is very imminent right now. There it is.
Okay, I feel like you know a lot about this game. So what is behind that gate?
What is behind that gate? Oh, with the yellow eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, good question. I'm just going to say Kevin McAllister from Home Alone. I don't trust those eyes. Gets caught with the back 1-2 3 times in a row. No mystery number 4. Just gets caught not blocking or maybe trying to press a button over there. Khan looking really strong, looking to close this out with another match going to the Lakeside Leviathans. No punish on the slide. The grease kick did whiff, unfortunately.
So is that stringer overhead into a low there that he just did?
It's a mid into a low.
Mid into a low, right.
It's just a very far-reaching mid. I believe
it looks like an overhead though, the way he swings his arm over.
If it is an overhead, please, do correct me. I don't.
That's the weird thing about this game is that there's certain mids that look like overheads.
They do. So the chop he has there, where he does the little serpentine kind of gut chop into the overhead one over there. That second hit's an overhead. But right now, we see Shang Tsung just stealing Jackie Briggs and killing her with her own moves. Into the dance.
Crotch punch.
And you know how you counterplay Shang Tsung? You just pick the worst character in the game. If he tries to soul steal you, he doesn't know how to play them.
But what if he doesn't do the soul steal and he just get
well, I guess you're screwed. But either way, Shang Tsung is such a cool character. I'm so happy to finally see him in the 5th week now of the Arena Clash. We're actually seeing some Shang Tsung gameplay, and I hope that we see more. I can't wait for these other DLC characters to come out. They've already teased images for Nightwolf, who looks awesome.
Right. Who else? Who else you got in mind that might come?
And Sindel has been shown off as well, who looks amazing. We are having a sub coming out from the York Vikings. Chasm is replacing Ryu over here, who will be playing the next match against Tunabees.
Right.
But the third character is Spawn. So there's only 3 confirmed characters right now in the Combat Pass outside of Shang Tsung. There is Nightwolf, Sindel, and Spawn.
Right. Right.
It's very believed on the internet that characters such as Terminator and potentially Ash Williams.
Terminator's coming.
Potentially.
Because
Potentially.
I saw something about Terminator. No, Terminator is going to be in Gears of War.
Yeah, which is why I'm surprised. So it,
So
it,
they're
it
just
would
giving
make
out the licenses to Terminator. Oh, all you games have it.
I'm not
yeah, you
sure.
have
I'm not sure.
Terminator as well.
It's purely speculative. I'm not. I don't have any confirmation. There's been nothing official put out by
That'd be
NetherRealm
pretty
right now,
sick, though.
but many people believe it to be Terminator and also Ash from the Evil Dead or Doom guy from Doom.
Right.
Doom Eternal's just around the corner as well.
Right. I want Terminator.
Oh, we
if
got
he
a Johnny
comes out,
Cage pick. Oh yes, the chasm up against Tunabees
Oh,
gets caught with the
straight-
slide
Straight
opener.
away, got hit by the slide.
Into the aerial ice
Rose
ball
back there.
forward 2-4 confirm. Unfortunately, missing out on some damage right there. But man, I like Johnny Cage. I want to see some Johnny.
You want to see a nut punch, don't you?
Hell yeah, I do. Look at that, throwing out the force balls. They are so cool in this game. I feel like they're so much more reliable than they used to be. Anti-air with the back four, the sweep. You're not allowed to jump at me.
Tunabees just doesn't look bothered.
Tunabees
He just doesn't look bothered at all.
is
Like, oh yeah, Johnny Cage.
just
right,
just doesn't
let's
care.
go.
Sees you blocking one way, does the other thing.
I think Johnny
Trick
Cage
guarded
could-
with the slide. This time we see the crushing blow coming out. The third amplified slide will crush.
Where was the X-ray though? There's no X-ray on that.
Oh, the down two crushing blow, punishing the high into the meter burn slide.
That
the
did a
amplified
lot of
slide,
damage
sorry.
for such a small combo. And
And
one more
Tunabees really just all over the chasm right here.
combo. This guy, this Tunabees guy, is too good. He's just,
I think he's catching people off guard a lot.
he is.
Yeah, he's
but
definitely abusing
that-
it very well.
That is one way to be good at a
The
fighting game,
strategy.
is catch people off guard. Like,
What if Tunabees is the most big brain player we've ever seen? Because Tunabees doesn't even know what
bro,
Tunabees
this
is
guy
doing.
has not been tested. He is just wrecking everyone that gets in his way.
So
Like,
if you saw, let's say, another team we saw, Bristol Smugglers,
Right.
how do you think Tunabees would fare against them?
I don't know. It depends on if he knows the Aaron Black matchup, and it depends on if he knows.
Because they also have a Sub-Zero. They have AK
I
Fire.
was gonna say Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
So it depends on if he's can level the other guy's Sub-Zero, but I think he'd do pretty well if he knows the matchup. If he knows the matchups, from what I'm seeing, I feel like he can do some damage. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I do feel like if the Bristol team knows the Sub-Zero matchup inside out, it could make it harder for him. So, but from what I'm seeing right now, I like his playstyle. That's what I'll say. I like his playstyle.
I do think that he needs to optimize his damage a lot more, or just
Yeah, he
work
could
on
do that.
getting the combos, even if they're not like super optimal. Just try and maximize the damage output that you get for every hit that you connect. If you freeze someone with an ice ball, you really want to follow it up with your best ender. But sliding right through the clone, what the heck? I haven't seen that before. I feel like the clone should have hit him. A nice block
nice
over there on the
punish.
teleport,
He was
down
waiting
to
for it.
crushing blow.
He's waiting for it. Look at the damage though. He doesn't even need to optimize his combo that much to do like 40%.
That was off a down two crushing blow though. Punishing that forward three whiff from Ryu right here.
Tunabees just looks like he knows how
All
to delete
over.
health bars. That's what it looks like to me. He knows.
Tunabees wants to make it to the playoffs.
He knows how to delete someone's health bar.
Oh, the crushing blow with the corner repositioning on the amplified slide into another crushing blow.
Crushing
Counter
blow.
hit on the forward two string. Gets caught by the low. Low again. And the forward throw is going to close it out. Tunabees really quick again. 2-0.
Is it the same fatality?
Oh, this is the different one. Ooh, the sound design. It's the fact that you can hear like their teeth when he's ripping it out as well, like teeth being plucked. That noise. It's a very unique noise. Oh god, a lot of people hate it, but I find it so satisfying.
How are they also
very weird.
accurate enough to get the eyeball out? Like,
I mean, I just think that. So in Mortal Kombat 9, there was a lot of battle damage and stuff with. It basically made people look like zombies by the end of the fight because they'd have giant gashes missing from their body and chunks of their flesh missing and everything. In Mortal Kombat X, there was a thing about like arms. There was a certain way that limbs in general broke off. and they kind of followed a pattern for that. And this
Oh.
one, it's all about the eyeballs.
Oh,
You see
right.
eyeballs flying everywhere.
So there's like a new kind of trend each Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
so
whether
to
it's
say.
intentional or not, I don't know. I think
feel
it's,
like it's
probably
intentional.
easier for the animation teams at that point, isn't it? For
Yeah,
but it looks cool. It looks really
like a
cool,
theme, innit?
regardless. Yeah, I mean, there's so many fatalities that have eyes just popping out, and I think that's a really cool thing because they haven't really done much of that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they look super cool. I know that the way that the eyeballs look as well when there's certain other fatalities, like Baraka has one where he literally rips your face off.
Right.
Just the eyes, you look like a Martian from Mars Attacks at that point, because you just have these wide eyes and brain.
I'm just trying to think though. It's like we're at Mortal Kombat 11 right now. Imagine how many years down the line you got Mortal Kombat 20. Are they ever going to run out of ideas for fatalities? Like, what is it going
I'm
to
not
get
sure, but they're
Like,
getting more graphic by the
They're
hour,
pretty
aren't they?
bad right now.
We
So
have
it's like-
Snow. Oh, so Snow is the Kotal Khan player, and I'm really impressed with Snow's play. You know, I really like this Kotal Khan. Just all over Chris right now, looking to make it a flawless.
He's just drinking blood all over the place.
Yeah, he just gives him power. It's that innocent smoothie.
This guy. is
Tarkat
not-
and blood flavor.
And one thing about Kotal Khan I forgot to mention, I feel like he has very long range. Like
He does. I'm not
he
sure
has
how many
long
of it,
range.
how much of it is reliable though. I think he might have some highs. He might suffer in the mid department, but either way, catching again with the command grab. Gets caught with a 1-1-2 into the gutted right there. Forward
got
4.
gutted.
There's the crushing blow. We're gonna get a lot of damage over time right now.
So Chris might actually take the first round.
Chris is
for
playing a
the
lot better
Vikings.
than he was before in the previous matches.
Oh, if Snow makes this comeback now, it's going to be so
Nice
hard
blocks,
for
good
them to break
patience.
the momentum.
And I was right earlier. It is variation 1 for Kotal Khan. The Ascension is the one with access to down forward 2 and this command grab, and the other variation, I believe, turns him into the Jaguar.
Oh!
But
and
caught
that-
with the way of fatal blow, this might take the round. It actually might.
I think it might be.
There's a
close.
hit at the end. Oh, close, close, very close. A
close,
literal
yeah.
pixel of health left. Nice block over there
Fatal
on
blow
the second
himself?
blade spark.
No, it's not going to use it. It's not going to use it. It's
Oh,
confident.
the
It's
down.
confident.
Oh, he didn't punish.
Oh.
Into the big leg. Snow
that
clutching
is-
it out with like no health left.
That is a heartbreaker for
You want to
Chris,
know what
man.
would be amazing if Snow decided to mercy and then just fatal blow straight away? Oh, I love this one. Running. Ugh! Oh man, just the running. Yeah, Kotal Khan's apparently a Super Mario Maker character.
What?
Hey, look at that eyeball. We were just talking about that. I
What
love that
just
fatality.
happened? What was that?
You know the best part? You know the beauty of this?
I've never seen that
You
one,
don't
and that
need
was
to
like
question it. You just think question marks and smile.
that was ridiculous. He got some whatever that was, put it on the floor,
That was a skull, Dante.
kicked him
It was a half a skull.
over,
That skull had died.
kicked his head off, like
He booted the head clean off with the entire vertebrae at that point.
teleported some skull from out of nowhere, and wow. And then on top of that, like it crushed the head, but you think the skull is too big, so nothing's gonna come out. But still, you see eyeballs flying
You
out.
still see the eyeballs. Now the funniest part to
The
me is
eyeballs-
after beheading someone with a running boot, like I'm talking wrestling, like I literally felt like Kotal Khan was like Rhino or like something like that. Just like old WWF, like I wouldn't want this guy running at me. He's like 7'2", and you know, I mean, they were dead after the initial kick for starters. But you know, just for good measure, you got to pull out your buddy Jeff
Gareth.
the Skull, finish it off. Great combo right there. But you know, Chris switching to Garrus. This is interesting. Maybe Chris has got the pocket top tier and feels pretty confident in this, or it might be one of those last-ditch efforts.
If he uses Garrus now and wins, then that just shows everything.
That just shows he should just probably stick to Garrus then, or see how it goes. You know, if you're feeling more confident in this character right now, then by ahead, just play the character. Nice break on the throw right there into the big leg. Back into the string,
gonna
down
be big
forward 2,
damage into the
confirm.
reset, I knew it.
There's the unblockable to close out the round. Really smart stuff from Snow. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this Kotal Khan. I'm super happy to see this character being represented as well.
Yeah. And he's playing him really well. Like his footsies like are really good.
And the hit confirms are really nice. Really nice. Always into some sort of optimal setup.
Was that
Loki
instant
or
overhead?
damage. Oh, nice delay into the confirm. Oh, 2 bars spent. Down 2,
he
down
froze
2,
time?
forward 1. Corner reposition, but doesn't get the ender.
I bet you can do some cheap stuff with that freezing time thing.
You can definitely do some pretty cheap stuff with it. Oh, nice tick grab. The standing 1 into the grab. Right
Wow.
there. Snow taking that really dominantly.
Yeah, are we gonna
This has
see it
been
again?
a very dominant performance right now from the Lakeside Leviathans.
Oh, it's a different one
This
this
is number
time.
2. I haven't seen this one. Yo, what the heck? That was awesome. I haven't seen that fatality before. I really like the fact that Kotal turns into like this Jaguar Panther or something. I had no idea that Oshtex could transform. Absolutely none. But I'm pretty sure on the combat class they did say that, like, you know, in the lore of Mortal Kombat, apparently Shang Tsung was like testing things out on, or Kotal was like a test subject. Or something along those lines.
Shang Tsung was
Yeah, well,
testing
Shang
on Kotal Khan.
Tsung's he likes to experiment. He likes to do some stuff.
So what did he do to Kotal Khan then?
Wait, I'm guessing he must have given him something that let him shapeshift.
Oh, right.
Because I don't
right.
remember Kotal Khan being able to shapeshift, and I don't have enough extensive knowledge on Oshtex, which is specific like the Kotal Khan kind of characters. I don't know that they could shapeshift or they could transform by some kind of like divine blood trait or something like that.
So
but
Shang Tsung can give other people powers. That's
I'm
how
assuming
strong
he just runs tests on people and messes with their DNA and probably inadvertently gives them powers.
Wow, that guy's strong, man. You don't mess with that guy.
Shangy Wangy. He's a pretty sick character.
We're close to a 10-0 sweep.
We are indeed. This is huge for the Leviathans because if they get this 10-0,
huge,
they could be looking to make it out of the group stages into the playoffs.
Oh, but you got the Sub-Zero again. Tuna Bee.
We have Tuna Bees up against Bruce
And
Leeds
this
right
guy
now.
just doesn't lose. This guy.
So right now the Leviathans need 2 wins and the York Vikings need 10.
This
They have to
Tuna
win
Bees is a
5 in this
beast.
set and then 5 in the next. And things are looking pretty rough for them right now.
Oh my
Frozen
god!
out of the dash
you
punch.
you try to Superman punch me. Superman punch me. I'll freeze you right next to my eyeball, and I'll combo you afterwards.
I want to see a Frozone skating from the Incredibles for Sub-Zero.
Her fist was literally right there by his head, and he was like, "Nope."
Nope. Oh, the whip punish with the icicles. I think that's a really cool looking special move.
He's
Caught
he's
with
been
the
rinsing
crushing
that
blow.
setup into the slide, and but
Nice punish.
Tuna Beast is clocking the fact that Bruce Leeds is trying to duck more now for the slide, and he's just not sliding as much.
That's true. There was a nice hit confirm on the forward one too. Surprised we didn't see a back throw over there. Probably wanted the corner positioning.
Oh, overhead.
But right now, Bruce Leeds should probably work on getting that crushing blow racked up with
sweet.
the clinch.
Oh, overhead again.
Overhead again
And
into
he's
the
mixing it
low.
up 'cause it's like, oh, he was like, oh, you want to duck my slide now? You want to duck my slide? What?
You're not allowed. You gotta hold these mix-ups. Now the overhead string is unsafe. The low string is safe. So, if Sub-Zero is going for these risky overheads, blocking is really important. It's hard to react to it. People will say that it isn't without the repetitive experience of going into practice mode and testing him doing random.
It doesn't look
between
that
the two.
reactable.
It's hard to react to it, I think. I think
like
that
it
if you're
is.
definitely feeling a bit nervous or a bit jittery, it's hard to react to it.
I feel like unless you're like probably a top player,
It's a fuzzyable
not
mix-up.
reacting to that.
But fuzzy guarding is it's
Dangerous.
pretty technical. It's pretty difficult
Fuzzy
to
guarding. If your opponent's a high level opponent and he notices that you're fuzzy guarding in every fighting game can get blown up.
Yeah, I mean that's when the
one
opponents
way or another.
high level opponents will start staggering, and then they'll start throwing, and then they'll start mixing things up and going even further than that. But we do see Bruce Leeds sticking on Jackie.
Let's
Nice
see if he
patented
can make
pick.
this work though.
Caught with a down
Oh,
two crushing
down
blow right in the
two.
beginning. There's the slide follow up. Now Tuna Bees can get a very easy extension on that with just back 1-4 slide instead. Another crushing blow. That's 2 crushing blows we're seeing on the first round right now for Tuna Bees. And working on racking
These
up the
mix-ups,
third one with
man.
the slides. Oh, no hit confirmed from Bruce Leeds over there, missing out on the grease kick. Slid straight underneath. Oh, I don't like the use of the crushing blow there.
It still caught her. It still caught.
It's still, yeah, well, the dash punch is a high and the slide is a low, so it's just a matter of properties of the moves. It looks a bit funny, but the move properties really, knowing them goes a long way. Tuna B is just absolutely relentlessly mixing up Bruce Leeds right now.
Nah, that overhead's fast, bro.
I'm grabbed out of the fatal blow. It is fast,
I'm watching that overhead. It's proper
I think
fast.
it's 16 frames, which is pretty quick.
You're not reacting to that, man. Like,
I think.
You're guessing that. And
also, I just want to throw this out there. Bruce Leeds is actually kind of a sleeper sick name. I really like it.
Nah, that name's
Bruce Leeds is a cool name.
Yeah.
Fatality again. You know, this is not looking very good for the Vikings.
Is that 4-0 now?
That is 4. That is 4 indeed.
They're looking for one more.
Tuna Bees is taking these games very fast.
Have they lost one round yet?
I'm not sure about the rounds. They definitely haven't lost a game. I don't think they've lost a single round. This has been a really dominant performance from the Lakeside Leviathans. Last week we saw a 10-0 as well. Last week,
but they lost one
dominant,
round.
But they lost one round. The Lakeside Leviathans. We were talking about this last week, saying, "Are we going to see anyone break that record?" And I think it's going to happen here tonight. I think potentially in this next game it could happen.
The thing is though, they was close to losing one round twice.
And that pixel health on the Codal,
and they made massive comebacks. So how important were those comebacks? Those comebacks were so important.
This is looking really, really bad for the Vikings right now. But
they're looking to break a record. Like this is
the cleanest 10-0 sweep.
Those
flawless victory.
Those comebacks.
I think it's a flawless victory.
Those comebacks were so important. That makes them even more hype because. Now, if they win this last game without losing one round, they've broken a record.
They have, and the momentum going forwards from there into the playoffs is going to be huge for this team as well. They're going to feel so good about themselves going forwards. And, you know, I think a big part is making it out of the group stages. It's like the equivalent of making it out of pools at a major.
Basically.
So you should feel that sense of reward, you know, take a minor break and come back to it with a bit of a fresher mind and think about what you can do to go forwards from there and how you can eventually qualify. So
what? Lakeside have picked an illegal character.
So unfortunately, Lakeside have made a mistake. We're just in from the voice of the heavens that Lakeside has actually swapped character on a win, which is not allowed.
They've just ruined their record?
They've ruined their record. Either the game gets replayed or they would have to be...
Don't they forfeit a match?
They would have to forfeit that match. So we'll have updates for you guys very shortly as well, but if you do win a match, this is a tournament standard everywhere for fighting games. If you win your match, you cannot switch characters.
Why would you do that?
You
like,
essentially
why would
just
you do that? You nearly just broke a record.
It's a very important rule for everyone to remember, whether you're competing in the Arena Clash or any other big tournaments.
Everyone knows that as well. It's happened to other people in the Arena Clash.
Yeah, so character lock on wins is it's the standard. There are multiple reasons for it as well. We were discussing this a bit last week as well, like the importance of counter picks. And so if you win a match with a certain character, say for example you're playing Sub-Zero, you win game number 1. Your opponent decides to switch characters in order to counterplay or counterpick Sub-Zero. They could pick someone like Scorpion to think that, okay, if he tries to do Ice Ball, I'll teleport in reaction. You know, just hypothetical. And if you switch characters then from Sub-Zero on your win to his Scorpion pick essentially becomes obsolete because the reasons that he's picking that character are gone. So you have to so for it to be in your favor, if you want to play multiple characters, you'd have to win the first game, and then they'd have to win the second game for you to change character as well in a 1-2 setting, which then you could counterpick their final character. So that's part of a counterpick meta. But
the thing is, there was just no need to change.
Yeah, there's no need to change. Just stick on the characters that you've been doing so well on already.
You're
really.
nearly breaking a record. You haven't lost a round.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a bit of a careless mistake on the Leviathan's part, but it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world.
They've still got an incredible lead.
Most likely.
And yeah, I think it's looking very likely that the Leviathans are going to be taking it this week. So
No
no,
Jacks,
there,
no.
there has not.
There's been Jackie Briggs, but there's not been no Jacks picks.
So
Oh, it's fine. So they didn't make that mistake then.
okay, so the mistake was definitely made.
Oh.
There was a switch to Jax, which hasn't been played already so far as well. We're working on getting that matter resolved very shortly as well. If you'd like to support your local tribe as well, no matter where you are in the UK, you have an area that is closest to you that you'd like to support, or maybe an area that you're a fan of, or just like the design of the shirt as well. Over on Raven.gg, they are selling the Belong Arena Clash jerseys. I'm not wearing mine today, unfortunately, but I will bring it with me to Insomnia. So if you're around the area and you see me walking around, belong.gg as well. But they are very comfortable. I got mine, and I love it. I've got the London
I love
Lionhearts
mine
one.
as well.
Yeah, really comfortable, breathable fabric and everything. They look amazing, and they've also got the option to personalize your name on the back as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Insomnia as well. I can't wait to see the actual live finals over there. We're going to be, casting it over there as well. Have crowds of people really getting hype and really into it for Mortal Kombat. We're going to have higher level Mortal Kombat going forwards, as now the strong teams are going to start playing against each other. Teams from different groups are going to start playing against each other.
Yep.
And that's where the real hype is going to lie, is about how well these teams can start outplaying each other. Because it's not just down to a single good player on the team. Now it's down to every player on the team being potentially equally as good as each other, I just feel like we're going to have a lot of close matches. We're going to have a lot of really hype matches.
And it's going to be down to like who performs better in an offline environment.
Oh yeah,
because
definitely.
Offline and online are two different things.
How well you
And,
can perform in front of a crowd as well.
in front of a crowd and with your opponent sitting next to you, because there is people that in tournaments and whatnot, they do tend to do certain things to try and put off their opponent.
Oh yeah,
even
yeah.
if they're only
the poke
subtle.
chop as well.
Well,
The
yeah,
blocking.
poke chop is a
The
big
mind
example
games.
of
It's
that.
all about the mind games. When you're offline, you can play mind games. And well, I mean, to be honest, like I'm just I know that a lot of these players either have some competitive experience within tournaments or have some have quite a lot. But ultimately, what matters is just really how well they play, how well they do, how well that they can, kind of just neuter out the nerves. They don't want to be feeling the tension of it, because that can lead to decision making errors, to input errors, dropped combos, and to overall very flustered decisions, which then make it worse for them. Like a good player can seem like a bad player on a bad day.
Yeah, like if you can be a really good player, but there's people that rise to the occasion under the bright lights and with the crowd there, and they play even better than normal. But there's some people that just can't handle it, and when a crowd starts cheering for their opponent or something like that, it plays with their mind, and it gets them out of their comfort zone, and they don't play very well.
Yeah, well, some people that are fueled by that fire as well. Ooh, that's when it becomes good. Like, I think that if there's a very hype crowd and they use that energy of the crowd, all the screaming and the ecstatic behavior of people and stuff like that, and you use it, some people just, they find themselves in that zone where they just play like a monster. They play so well, and
Definitely.
there's a lot of momentum-driven players out there who really fuel off of crowd interaction and hype. I know that Hayate is definitely one of them. He loves it. It fuels him so much. He's already a very strong player, and recently, he won Vianality as well, which is a pro competition event. But as we are still waiting on confirmations for everything to get back and resume with this gameplay as well, we do apologize for the wait. With Insomnia really being around the corner as we are in week number 5, who do you think right now are looking to be the strongest teams, do you think? Who do you think we'll be seeing more of as time goes on?
So I'm hearing Bradford are very dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm hearing Bristol are dangerous.
Yep.
And I'm hearing London are dangerous. So
That's true.
I think it might come down to who's the best out of those lot.
Yeah, I mean,
don't know
there's
if I'm
definitely
missing
some other
anyone.
teams. I think that the Steelers, the Teesside Steelers, are also
Right.
4-0 in their group.
Oh right, yeah,
So,
I forgot. Yeah, I was missing.
I'd be
someone.
interested to see some other teams, as I know they've got some pretty decent players as well. I'm not sure entirely what the situation is in terms of them making it out of the group stages. But there are teams that I would like to see more of. Like Manchester Swarm. I believe that they've got a nice mix of people from different fighting game backgrounds, and some of them are Mortal Kombat players, some of them have played various fighting games, some of them are Tekken players. I believe it's the same situation with Bradford as well. Risky Luck, who made the finals for the Tekken Arena Clash with his team, is also competing in Mortal Kombat 11.
Risky Luck actually used to be an Injustice player, so he's taken those 2D skills that he's learnt from Injustice. He was an Injustice player before he was a Tekken player.
Oh, that's really interesting.
So he's picked up Mortal Kombat now, and he looks like he's he's doing pretty well. So it would be quite interesting to see him and who he actually plays in this game. See if there's any similarities between
really
his main character in this game and his main character in Tekken. I like to see that, like players that play multiple fighting games.
Yeah.
Like see if there's similarities between their
what your
characters.
fighting game main says about you, kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm always biased towards characters with swords. I just think they're cool.
Yeah, right.
This is my thing.
Yeah,
But
swords,
I might be a
man.
weeb.
You don't want to mess with someone with a sword, innit?
It teleports behind you. Nothing personal, kid.
I'm biased towards kind of like robots and cyborgs.
Yeah.
I just feel like, bro, how are you gonna fight a cyborg, bro? Like, he's gonna mash
Would
you
you
up.
be a Genos main if there was a One Punch Man fighting game?
What a Genos?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but I would use One Punch Man. He would be overpowered.
All right,
He would be OP.
What if he wasn't even in the game? What if he was just an?
He was just some guy in the background.
He's some guy in the background that
Just
no
all the
one can
time.
compete with. He's in his own tier of like
Yeah, be a
quadruple
Genos
S
main.
tier.
All day.
Yeah.
Genos main all day.
I'm all about that Garo and Silverfang life.
That's the thing. One Punch Man. He's so. I love him. Like I love that anime. He's so sick. But the thing is, the one bad thing about it is like obviously you can make Dragon Ball Z fighting games. You can do stuff like that. But
it's hard to
can't
a character
make
that doesn't have
One
limitations.
You can't make a One Punch Man fighting game.
So in terms of Mortal Kombat, doesn't really have any cyborgs in this one. None really. Jackie is probably the most cyberized.
She's not a cyborg though. Like a cyborg.
She's not a cyborg.
Yeah.
But Triborg in the last one was
in the last one. Yeah.
The Lin Kuei, like the I'm trying to say mechs and bots at the same time.
Right.
The robots.
Yeah.
So the robots in the Lin Kuei, Cyrex, Sector, Cyber Sub-Zero, Cyber Smoke.
The thing is, in the last one, I'm weird with Mortal Kombat because I just like Raiden. I
really like Evil Raiden.
I just like Raiden. I just like him, the Thunder God. But to be fair, when I did pick up MKX, I was playing Jax for a bit, but I didn't feel like he was that good, so I dropped him. But I did try Jax. He wasn't for me, but I just really like Raiden for whatever reason. So
do you think that you'd be a Raiden man in this?
I'm going to try him.
To see who came out in DLC?
Huh?
Or would you wait to see who came out as DLC characters?
I don't feel like the DLC characters interest me as much because obviously I've got Raiden in the game. Even though he's not considered a very good character, I'll try and make him work. If not, I like Jackie Briggs. I feel like the way that they've designed her to be a Muay Thai specialist, kind of is what I like as well. Yeah. So
it resonates with you quite a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I'll try those two, but I do generally like cyborg kind of robot like characters, but I am still picky at the same time. I do like other characters as well.
Yeah.
So I'm like one of those guys as well. I don't really like to limit myself to like a few I like to play a few characters, you know what I mean? And I like to do that to get learn the mechanics better, because some characters are better at utilizing certain mechanics than others. So I feel like it helps you learn the game and it helps you understand those characters as well. Sometimes I pick up characters just to understand how to fight them and how to get into the mindset of a player that plays that character.
Yeah,
because
you find out the little gimmicky things as well.
Because it's like normally, but I've played this gimmicky character, and it's like, why are you doing that? Why are you playing like this? And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna try and play this character myself. It's like, oh, that's why he does it, and this is why he does
Everything
it at
starts
this
to
time.
become clear, doesn't it?
Yeah,
the clarity
yeah.
that you get from actually playing the character that
Yeah,
can
yeah.
frustrate you.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was me with a lot of characters in MKX actually. Kotal Khan was a character I struggled against a lot in MKX,
right.
a lot.
But then eventually you picked him up, right? And then
Yeah,
you
exactly.
understood
Eventually
him a
I
lot
picked
better.
him up, and then I was
Then he got
like,
good in the matchup, innit? Yeah.
as good as I could have.
But like, you know,
Yeah, it helped me understand the character a lot more. The same thing with Devora. I started playing Devora because I didn't understand everything that she could do. I didn't understand little technicalities that I saw players like Honeybee taking. And when you pick up these characters, you really could you figure it out. You know, you play around with the character, you understand what they can do and how they do it.
Yeah.
And then you just go into actual practical games with that character, and you start playing people, just get completely used to them. You just kind of figure little things out.
I feel like I hate to bring Tekken into this, but I feel like it's no coincidence that arguably now the best Tekken player in the world is a player that learned every character in the game and got to the highest rank possible with them, and then just uses the characters that he likes
Is
now.
that Nee?
That's Nee.
Yeah.
That's Nee, and he learned every character
Yeah, Nee
in
is
the game.
like an encyclopedia, isn't he? He knows
Right.
all these characters, and so it's
And that's why it's so hard to beat, because you can't choose him out with anything.
because
he knows everything.
because he knows everything. So it really comes down to how well you can counterplay that player's playstyle.
And then if a new character comes out, what does he do? He learns that character,
yeah.
gets him to the highest rank again, and then he's learned everything about the character. And it's just like, oh, okay, I can't get cheesed up by this. It's like, but the thing is, when you're at that sort of level in a fighting game, that's what I mean. Like, you have to, especially if you're a tournament player, you have to do the research and learn as much as you can, just so in this little first to two moment, you're not gonna get hit by something that you didn't know.
Yeah,
you
you
know
don't
what I
want
mean?
to get completely like flabbergasted by some stuff that you had no idea how to block.
Yeah.
Mix-ups and gimmicks go a long way in first to twos, a long way. But the issues are still being resolved right now. We do apologize for the wait, but I'm pretty sure that the Leviathans are looking really strong right now. I mean, bar the mistake that they made, which is what's being sorted out right now.
Super silly mistake.
I would go as far as saying a bronze tier
One
mistake.
game off winning as well. That's the worst part about it. You was one game off breaking a record and winning,
One
and then
game
you did that.
of picking the same character.
Come on, man.
What did you do? What did you do, the Leviathans? I'm gonna blame Khan for this one. Khan, if you can hear me. No, but it's regardless. It's I really want to see more from the teams that we haven't had the opportunity to actually cast right now. I have no idea who the T-side Steelers play. I have no idea which characters they play. So I'm really excited to see them, because right now they're 4-0 in their group.
It's
They're
so
making
unlucky
it out
that
into the playoffs, no questions. Like I want to see who they decide to play, which team they're going to play, and how well that they can compare against these other teams that we've seen are very strong or have very strong players, and just how well they performed. I would love to see Titans from each group go at each other.
Yeah.
And
but that's what we're going to see in the later stages.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to see that, but Steelers 4-0. They haven't even lost a set, so it's like they could have had some 10-0s.
They could have. Yeah, they could have. Now,
really
I highly doubt their group is free. Highly doubt it. I think that every group has solid
some competition in there. Yeah, definitely.
Jinx. And I think that that TSI they outplayed them, really. That's pretty much what it came down to. And a player that hypothetically plays in Kombat League a lot, or plays a lot of online, would be very used to this group stage format where they're just playing online against these other teams. So they're probably very accustomed to that player environment, and that potentially might be a downside to them when they come offline if they make it that far.
Oh, you reckon?
Because offline, if you're very used to an online play environment, it can feel like a different game.
Yeah,
at times,
yeah, it is.
and vice versa.
I dare say that every fighting game online versus offline is more or less two different games.
Yeah, they can feel like two completely different things. Okay, so we have had a match that was played off stream right now. Currently,
Oh, they lost the
score
match. Was that
is-
because they had to forfeit a match though? That match they
So
lost.
the one
Oh,
that
is-
Kazoom has on the left-hand side is because there was the illegal character change. It's against the ruling. So you're not allowed to character change on a win, and that is why they have forfeited a game over to the Lakeside. Sorry, over to the Vikings, the York Vikings, who now have that game in their pocket as well, breaking that record.
I can't
through
get
a
over that.
Complete foolish mistake. You
I
could have
can't-
had it.
I can't,
You could have had it
I can't get
all.
over that.
And you
on
threw
the
it all
last
away.
hurdle as well. They didn't. It's not like they did it like in the first set, like
Right
3
at the
games
end.
in.
Right at the end.
right.
Do you know what that is like?
And they was gonna do it without losing a round.
That's like watching Lord of the Rings 1 and 2, and right at the end of Return of the King, before Aragorn gets crowned, you get a filler arc.
Yeah, basically.
But either way, Snow over here on Kotal Khan again. Please only play this character because you are good at him, and he's very fun to watch.
Yeah.
The Kazoom playing Scorpion, but Snow only needs to win 2 rounds
Imagine if
for the Lakeside
Kazoom wins
Leviathans to take this entire thing.
this match. Can you imagine that?
What was that, sorry?
Imagine if Kazoom wins this match.
If Kazoom wins this match and starts the greatest comeback in the world for the Vikings, then I'm gonna go to Lakeside myself and I'm gonna have to sit them down and give them story time about how they kept to stop throwing.
Imagine if they brought it all the way back.
Blocks the fatal blow.
That would be hilarious.
Kazoom would be the most godlike player ever.
He's gonna lose a round.
Oh no, that
he gonna-
was a
no,
big
he's
whiff.
not.
He dropped the combo, the back throw
He's
in the
gonna
corner.
lose
This
the
is
round.
bad. Oh, the
He
block
brought
of the
the
teleport
momentum.
into the punish. Nice.
Oh no, it's not gonna lose a round. Oh, you got lucky.
Snow. This
You got
guy.
lucky. You
I
got
can't
lucky.
tell if you give me hyper anxiety, Snow. It's between the two. There's a little gray area, but I like it. Keep it up. Catches with the low. The
Because
end
right
of the
now,
2 string
right now they got bragging rights. They can say, "Listen, the only reason why you won a match is because
we
of
win
the
changed.
default."
They'd be basically flexing on themselves for that silly decision making, really.
Yeah, yeah.
But gets forward thrown. The Kazoom is not out of
If-
this right now.
if
Has to
Snow-
destroy the momentum.
if Snow loses a round, if he loses a round, it would be so devastating for like.
And there it is.
Oh,
A
he's not
lot
gonna
of
lose that
damage.
round, huh? He's drinking the blood.
Are we going to see a brutality? Nope, just checked with the forward 2 into that nice little combo. Are we going to see it?
Fatality,
We
yeah.
are indeed. Fatality
Is
to
it the
close
skull
this
one?
set out.
Oh, it is.
Oh, yes. It's your favorite one. Look at the run. Look at the run. Woo! Boom! It is the best thing. I feel like I'm playing WWE
What is that?
back in like
skull?
2004 on the PS2. SmackDown vs. Raw.
And that's it.
Are over here at the
Lake-
tables and the Lakeside Leviathans.
Look at that. Look at that
Completely
one. Just look at
dominated.
the one.
So, the Lakeside
Same.
Leviathans, they still technically 10-0 the York Vikings.
They didn't
because
technically 10-0 them.
They
though,
technically
did
10-0
Oh
them
well,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
they
5-0
did.
in both
They
sets.
did.
But they didn't do it with the legitimacy that we wanted.
Look
Lakeside,
at that one. That is.
I'm
just
proud
so
of you and also disappointed at the same time. But anyway,
One.
like the York Vikings, putting up a really good fight. Unfortunately, they aren't going to be making out of this group stage.
Unlucky.
But the commiserations to these players, they've still played really well, and you can tell that they're learning. They want to go further than that, and I would like to see them just work on improving. We're working on learning more
And
about the
matchups
game.
and stuff, yeah.
Okay, but that has been week number 5 for the Belong Arena Clash as well. Lakeside Leviathans proving to be really strong as they will take the win over the
Super
York
strong.
Vikings. Really impressed with everyone's performance. I'm going to have to give Snow the MVP of tonight, really. I think the Kotal Khan performance was amazing.
It was
really,
amazing.
I loved watching
But-
it. It was really good play.
But it was amazing. But Tuna Bees as well. He was a
Tuna
beast
Bees,
tonight.
Tuna Bees definitely gets in the head, and we are going to close it up over here. Remember, if you'd like to support your tribe, visit raven.gg. You can get your name personalized on the back of the jersey, and also head over to belong.gg if you're interested in competing in the Arena Clash. That has been it from us. That is my goodbye from Falcon,
And goodbye from Dante.
and we'll see you next time.